Yes, our good friend Peggy is absolutely correct. We asked, we got one. And yes, Canada wrapped up gold in freestyle skiing. We're going to talk all about the Winter Olympics and all the sports here on Point of View. My name is Bobby Munson, and the man sitting beside me right over there, is Andre 2/3 Fluffy C. Andre, good morning. How you doing, my brother?
I am doing very well. It's been a good week watching hockey, getting to watch some hockey, men's and women's, getting to watch some curling, men's and women's. I'm happy right now with sports in the world that we live in, and reading about F1. That's been my week.
All right. Well, I'm hoping you got some F1 to talk about here on the show today.
A little bit.
We had some gaps to fill ever since the NFL came to an end.
We can still talk about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always things. There's always things. Good morning to Zach as well too. Zach, thank you for joining us here on Point of View this week. Yes, we're running an hour late. Of course, I was not instantly home and prepared to be able to go early today on our normal time, but figured why not take 12 Eastern time, take a crack at it, see what kind of audience it brings in, and it brings in great guys like this beautiful man Basser here to the chat. Good morning, Basser. How are you doing, brother? Good to see you. How you enjoying your long weekend, my friend? But yeah, speaking of long weekends as well, like Andre, I know your job's a little bit different, not typical Monday to Friday, so long weekends probably aren't. Is it a long weekend for you? Okay.
The job I'm currently at now is Monday to Friday.
Sweet.
In the summers, I work Saturdays, and I get every second Monday off for them.
Okay.
But right now with the winter, I'm just Monday to Friday, and I get a nice 3-day weekend this weekend, and I'm so happy about it.
Beautiful. Yeah, we're kind of seeing the last of the supposed warm weather. I know that there's some nasty stuff on the way coming up here, typical February type things for us in Saskatchewan. I'm sure for you in Alberta as well too. It's going to be another little swing of the winter season here sprinkling upon us. But
everything's ice here, which really sucks because like the streets and everything are clear. Like they've done a good job clearing streets, and the sun has melted away a lot on the streets and sidewalks. But there's so many parking lots in areas, especially where like my yard, the yard I work at, and just areas I have to go deliver are just pure ice. And it's just terrible. And then, oh God, the snow that we're scheduled to get this week, it's just going to cover it all up. And it's just going to be that much scarier to drive, to exist. Oh, not looking forward to this. Not at all. Not even the slightest.
No, it's going to be rough. I don't wish this kind of weather on anybody, but you know what? We'll deal with it. It'll be over soon enough. We're getting towards the spring season. Means other sports will be starting up. Other sports will be coming to an end. That's just the way it goes. Like we said, the NFL wrapped up recently. We can always chit chat about NFL anytime, but I'm going to give a quick update in the world of, I guess, soccer, footy, I guess, as some of us like to talk it, of course. Games not being played, or traditionally not being played in the Premier League this weekend because the FA Cup was on. So no real games to update you on in terms of Manchester United, which I love to keep you informed about. They will go up against, I believe they're playing Everton tomorrow afternoon. Yes, tomorrow afternoon they are playing against Everton. So nobody has played any games in the Premier League this weekend. As you know, since the last time we spoke, we thought that we might finally see that fan get to cut his hair. Finally, 5 in a row. That's all they needed. One more against West Ham, who's a struggling team in the goddamn relegation zone. And we almost lost, Andre. It was tight. I mean, I got excited. We got the one that went in, that they called for offside. I was like, come on. That was a close one. Like, that was a tight offside call on that one to have us pulled back and not have the goal there. But then Benjamin Sesko scoring that late winner, like, good God. Not winner, sorry, but the tying goal. I was like, yeah, man, the guy with the hair doesn't get to cut his hair, but he probably has got to be loving that to a degree. I got to imagine with his social following and the amount of people paying attention and the revenue that he's receiving from all this, like, I'm sure he'd be happy to keep that hair going for even longer at this point in time because he's got a great gimmick going down.
At some point, he's going to have to give up on it because, like, if you look at his hair, he does not have, like, light volume hair. That dude has heavy volume hair. Yeah. Like, you know, some people, like, you can grow their hair out, like, big, but it's lighter and there's not, you know what I mean? His is thick. He's got thick, heavy hair. Look at that. Like it looks like that's a lot of weight on his head. And I saw videos of him watching the game and just being just like so bummed at the end. Just be like, oh god damn it. But like, because it's like after a while, you got to be like, this is what, a year and a half of him not being able to cut his hair or something.
I think it's more than a year and a half now, actually.
Something like that, yeah.
He's something like day 600, I think, actually. So
Yeah,
it's over.
Half,
yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah,
a year and a half. Yeah.
Pushing closer towards 2 already, but
yeah,
it's amazing because everybody would assume with the run that we were having against the top teams to go up against West Ham, a struggling relegation team. The thing is that's where we like to struggle. Yeah, thanks, Cat.
There's the struggle. The cat trying to get away.
That's right. Yeah, I guess he didn't want to be on screen today. But no, that's the thing. It's like, and people don't realize that's where Manchester United have struggled, is against lower teams that play what is known as the low block. And to define what the low block is in footy is essentially when you line up kind of tight at the back. It's a very defensive way of playing the game. So if you're playing, say, like a 4 defensive and then playing 4 midfield, and then you could play with 2 kind of up front, like an attacking midfielder and then a striker ahead of them. What you do is you compact the design of play. You don't give a lot of room in between the players. You actually have them held back very strong, very tight, so that it makes it very hard for teams to penetrate through. And I think one of the things Manchester United was lacking was a real target man during this. And that's why a lot of people thought that Seshko should have come on a lot sooner than he did. And the reason that we scored that goal is because, again, he's a big, strong presence out there. And again, he will continue to keep getting better. He's a young kid. We got to understand he's still, getting his feet wet at this point. But the more we keep getting him out there, I understand not putting him out as the star man every single time, because it takes time to develop a young guy like this. However, in that situation against the low block, he would have been a perfect guy to have up front, again, to keep a strong presence, whether that means that either he's big enough to receive crosses coming in where he can just pop them back in the back of the net with his head. Great. But the other thing is too, is he can draw defenders away. If they believe that they've got to stop the target man, and you can draw 2 defenders away from their preferred position to make sure that they follow this striker, you then can create a gap for the other players to break through. And that was what we were missing, was that being able to be creative, be able to get those crosses in. It just wasn't connecting. So I get it. We were fortunate, I think, to grab a point from that game and to not lose it. So I'll accept it. I mean, it is what it is. We're still in 4th. I predicted, what did I predict? 6th or something, 6th or 7th, I think for Manchester United.
5.
I didn't go 5. I didn't go 5 because I went 5 last year.
I did. I think I put you guys around 5. So
yeah, I think I went like 6 or 7, and I said that would be. I'm praying for that I could hope that we could get that far to show improvement from last season. And we're sitting here in 4th right now, and I'm thinking, keep chipping away at it, boys, because there is a slight chance we could hit Champions League, getting qualified for it. The problem then becomes, do we have the team prepared enough to go into something as big as the Champions League next season? It's going to take a lot. There's a lot to iron out, a lot to figure out. It could be very detrimental to us to hop into the Champions League next season as well, too, if we're not properly prepared. Again, we need certain players, certain positions filled over the summer. Whether or not it's going to be done properly, whether we get the right players, I don't know. We'll find out close to when that starts up, and we'll see how the team pans out for the rest of the season. But yes, there is your current Manchester United update for this week. Andre, maybe
I was going to say, let's talk the other football quickly.
Yeah, let's do that.
We haven't been able to talk about the game. That was a Super Bowl, I guess. Like 3/4 of a boring game. Not, I can't call it boring, but it just wasn't action-packed because it was a defensive game for the first 3/4 of that game. It was
big time
defense. Like, again, being held to pure field goals from Seattle, up 12-0 going into the 4th quarter. Don't get me wrong. Great play by both teams' defense. Absolutely incredible. And then we got the 4th quarter. like just absolute bananas fourth quarter with 13 points from the Patriots and 17 points from the Seahawks. Holy poop. I don't need high scoring. I like to see it spread out throughout the game, not just defense the entire time. I get it. But again, amazing fourth quarter. But and again, for the masses, an underwhelming first three quarters. I get it because it's the biggest game of the year. People want to see that pounded in and like everything go hard, right? Yeah, New England's defense was held up really, really good until that fourth quarter, and then just got apart. And New England got a good couple strikes in there, but like going for that 2-point conversion when they did was questionable.
Yeah,
but I understand why, because they were still within striking. At that point, had they got it, they were within less. I think less than 2 scores at that point. Less than 2 touchdowns with the extra point. So it made sense going for it, but it was.
And see, and I'm with STG too as well. Like I like a good defensive game personally. Mm-hmm. I have always enjoyed a good defensive game. I don't need a high scoring blowout or anything like that. That to me, it gets a little bit uninteresting. And that's what I did enjoy about this. I mean, it took a lot of smart play, especially even from I'm like, again, everyone, I think a lot of people anticipated Seattle going out there and just mopping the floor with the Patriots. And what it took was smart early play defensively from Seattle, playing the smart move of chipping away at those points. And when that breakthrough came, by the time they got to that fourth quarter, that's when the smarts came in. That's where they really had them pinned, and they knew that they had the experience to outplay the Patriots at that point, and they did. And the payoff is great because then all the fun and excitement comes at the end. That's when you start to go, oh my God, life is, this thing is coming to life. If it would have been back and forth touch TDs throughout the beginning of the game too, I think it would have lost some of the spark. I really did. I enjoyed it. STG calling people casuals. Yeah.
You did see them fall off a little bit in that fourth quarter. You saw their defense kind of like, but it and just the defensive output on the sacks to oh my God, they like you could already tell May wasn't, not to say he wasn't ready for that level yet. Like he don't get me wrong, he did a good enough job, but you could tell that the Super Bowl was getting to him even when the game started, before he started getting hits. And then as he got hit, was it 6 or 7 times he got sacked in this game?
He's a young man.
He's a young man. He did not expect that overwhelming pressure that he was getting. And he got pulled down a bunch of times after he threw, or got hit just after he let the ball go and things like that. So he was getting a crazy amount of overwhelming pressure throughout that game. And I think that really did do something to him, because you saw him getting a little fuzzier later as we go, right? So
yeah. Yo, Brett just joined us as well too. Morning, Brett. Thank you for being here.
And I can't find SCGs, and I really don't care.
Yeah, I ditched it a while ago. Actually, I've been doing this for a little bit this way, so
ripped one.
got tired of half my body glitching out while we were doing streams, so just reverted back.
That is true. But no, I still enjoyed the Super Bowl. Halftime show was great. Bad Bunny, and then seeing Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin in there. The Ricky Martin, I ripped that sign a year ago, man.
Yeah.
Here's the good one. But no, the Ricky Martin appearing, I was like, what? That one surprised the hell out of me. He's like with Lady Gaga, and then what is it? Pedro Pascal and Jessica Alba were in amongst the people on the field walking around during his performance. They got really? There's little screen captures of them on the screen at times. I was like, that was great. I thought great halftime show. I crushed him. I know. I broke his heart.
How you're being such a bad papa towards your son here.
Yeah, no. Living the Via Loca. Yeah. Because I mean, I had a great time watching that half. I understood none of it. I understood not like there's like a couple spots where like at the end when he's talking about all the country. That's the only part I really understood because he was just saying country names. But it was still an entertaining halftime show.
But for anybody like even like yourself that didn't necessarily know what was happening at that point, intrigue kicks in. Research it after. I mean, I did, and also getting to hear from people who do understand it. You get a vibe for what it was, and it was all beauty. It was a beautiful thing. Such a great performance.
I like, dude. I listen to K-pop. I listen to J-pop. I listen to J-metal, like Japanese metal. I don't understand any of it, but I like it because it's got good. The beats are good, and it just entertains me. And that's what this is. The music was good. Like there was a vibe. I was having fun. I was doing a little bit of dishes while having it on, just kind of cleaning up from supper. Just while it was going on, it was a vibe, man. That whole time was great.
Oh, loved it. So keep it on the vibe of football here. I thought I'd bring this up quickly. Apparently, this news from a couple of days ago, the Edmonton Elks have hired 2 new coaches and finalized their staff for 2026. Ooh. Do you think for a second that this is going to pull them out of the rut that they've been in over the last little while? Do you think that new coaching is going to be able to bounce the Elks back and make them a team that could be worth watching again? Or do you think that you're going to be leading into another disastrous failed season?
Now, I'll give it this. Again, this is a 9-team league, right? So anything can happen in this league. Don't get me wrong. But the thing is, with a 9-team league, you have to make very big differences and big changes. Now, if they're changing up their coaching staff like that, I think maybe that can make some serious adjustments to their offense, their defense, and different things to really get them to that point. And like that's the team needs it. They need offensive and defensive resuscitation because it's been a rough few years for the Elks. Really, since it became the Elks, I don't think they've had success since changing over.
Nope.
I don't. Nope. And there might be a reason for that because you might have cursed the team getting rid of the old name. It's very true. You didn't need to get rid of that name because the Indigenous community were actually kind of going, why the hell did you get rid of that name? They legit were like, why the hell did you get rid of it? Is what the community reaction to it, not the other way around. It was weird. So I think you might have cursed yourself changing that name.
Well, and all the things that Edmonton's known for, and you went with the Elks, I just it really seemed to have no connection.
It could have been the Extreme, Edmonton Extreme. That would have been great.
Anything would have been an improvement over the Elks. I mean, that's such a terrible name.
Oh, they should have been Edmonton XFL. That's what they should have been. The Edmonton XFL.
Edmonton XFL. The X is for extreme, baby.
That would have been hilarious if they get that. They got that.
Oh man, it would have been even worse if they were still bottom of the league after all that too.
Oh, they would have been. Again, I don't think it's a name. It's an overarching thing. Like, just they haven't put together a proper team, and like they have good pieces that just have a lot of work to do. And I do think it's a scheme change. Management change could really affect a lot of that. I hope they do some work to do some edits to the roster, and I would love to see Edmonton be competitive and see this town really fall in love with that football team again because it's been a lot of years. Like I know people that are diehard every year, but I know a lot of people that just stop caring about the Elks here because they've just sucked for so long. People just stop caring.
The most seats sold at an Elks game is when Saskatchewan visits to play against you guys. Mm-hmm. and trust me, most of them will wear watermelons on their head when that game goes off anyway.
Oh yeah, they say that the highest like Edmonton, like the Oilers are a team that do sell out their games multiple times per year. There are games that people aren't in, but like there's team like certain teams come to town. Like, you hear like that, like it's there. Like when Montreal rolls into town for hockey, same with Toronto. There's a lot of red. It's a 50-50 crowd in there because a lot of fans put on their old jerseys. That yeah.
Well, it's again because of the close proximity to certain places. Like for us here, like a distance between Saskatoon and Edmonton is about 5.5 hours by car. And that's with the, the towns and stuff that slow you down along the way because the speed limit drops down. You're not highway the entire time. And so it's a decent proximity, especially for like going to big events there, right? To make that trip out for certain things. So that's why I think that your stadiums do so well too, because it's very easy for people in Saskatchewan to roll over to Alberta to come and check out some of these bigger games, bigger festivals, bigger concerts, things like that. And so that's one of the beauties of being that close. We don't get as much here. So our, people from Saskatchewan are a little more gung-ho to hop in the car and go on a road trip.
PPW, man.
Check out stuff.
This should be, everybody should be coming in for PPW from all
They already are,
provinces.
man. They always are. Like I'm telling you, we're almost sold out for next Saturday. Coming Saturday.
If I could make the trip, I 100% would be there. I would literally just come and help you out. I would just be like, let me be part of the staff. I don't need to be in the crowd. I want to be part of the staff. That's what I want to do if I came over to that.
PPW days are always an exciting day for sure. We got that coming up. Of course, Bob Smokes and I will be talking more about that on Thursday night as we are kind of previewing the show. But yes, let's talk about, well, I've definitely got one more topic before we go anywhere near the Olympics, and I'm sure you do too. So yes. I'll start with mine because mine's kind of interesting, and this is to do with major.
So mine isn't. Okay.
Okay. No, sorry.
I'm kidding.
Okay, mine poses an interesting question to our audience and to you as well too. Okay, so Major League Baseball is apparently bringing in, or it plans to bring in, an ABS system to the games, and the ABS system essentially here's how it works. Stadiums will be outfitted with cameras that track each pitch and judge whether it crossed home plate within the strike zone. Human umpires will call every pitch, but each team has the ability to challenge 2 calls per game. Teams that burn their challenges get 1 additional challenge in each extra inning. A team retains a challenge if successful, similar to the regulations for video reviews, which were first used for home run calls in August of 2008, and then widely expanded to many calls for the 2014 season. So basically, this is now another computerized system that's coming in to be able to challenge certain pitches. They are still using the umpires. You're able to challenge certain calls. But it begs the question of, like, as this technology creeps its way in, are we starting to get to a point where we're lessening the need for human touch on certain things? Like, does the job of an umpire start to become obsolete in the game of baseball the more that they keep bringing in these technologies? And I asked that to our listeners as well as to you, Andre. I'm curious to know your thoughts on this ABS system.
Yeah, like I can see it, like, because we've been seeing a lot, like the bringing of challenging when people can like for an out at first, or there's camera replays for a lot of stuff like that has been brought in. That I in my opinion has really improved the game, because you tend to get a lot more. You get a lot more accuracy and like calls coming back and stuff, and it kind of does make the game more exciting. Now, the pitch zone has always bothered me. I hate, like, that's one of the biggest pet peeves of baseball is that pitch zone. It's like I've watched so many times a ball called a strike and a strike called a ball, and it just aggravates the hell out of me because I'm not a guy who watches 100 picks. I don't have a team in baseball. I'm not a follower of a team, and maybe I'll jump on a bandwagon at some point. STG, don't worry. I'll jump on at least 3 bandwagons. Don't worry. I'll jump on 3 teams just for you, buddy. But I just it's a good thing. I really do think, because again, you still are going to have the umpires making the calls, but for some egregious calls, I like that you're going to have that system, because it's going to help. It's going to help teams who get a bad call against them maybe come back. Because trust me, I've seen some bad calls in baseball. And yeah,
that's a very fair assessment. And again, that's an argument that a lot of people would make. You know, it's if it was just for what they're using it for right now, I think that I'd be okay because, like you say, it does add to the accuracy of the calls, and especially those frustrating ones when you're watching your team and the calls go against you in that sense. I get that. But I do also understand that it takes away some of the personality from the game as well too, because it was always a human game, like any sports, right? Like it's built on, I mean, half the excitement of the games is being able to yell at a referee or an umpire or somebody who makes a bad call, who doesn't like having a beer at the game and then getting all rambunctious and rowdy and calling the names to the person. Like it's all part of the human nature that is sports, I believe. And the more that we keep putting in these different types of technologies that take away the need for certain things, like how long does it become before we start putting in a pitching system where we don't need pitchers anymore because we don't want to injure people's arms over time? So then we have to have, an electronic pitching system. Like, where does that line get drawn? I guess is my best question there. Where do you draw the line? Like if it is where it is right now, great. But I don't think it stays that way. I think with time, they're going to try to implement more systems. And the more systems that become implemented, I think it takes the excitement away from the game and the personality away from the game.
I again, the pitching thing, I don't think will ever happen. Meant mainly because I think there'd be fan revolt for anything like that of that nature if pitchers got taken out of the game. That again, because you put a machine in there, that's pretty much a strike down the middle every time, and it comes to become the home run derby, and that's, you know what I mean. And but like I can see, because I understand fans and some teams have gotten screwed on bad pitches or on a bad pitch call. Like there was something, it was directly in the middle, that was a strike, but the ump saw, referee, the ump saw it low and called it a ball, and you're like, that would have put him out and that would have ended a game, but then he hits it on the next one, and you know what I mean, gets it just, I've seen it's just so many times in games where like it's a ball, obviously a ball, a guy was going to walk, but he calls it a strike and then get out and the game's over. And it's like, what? No, it's those little things, you know what I mean? That I can understand why people wouldn't want it, because it's, again, purity of the game, things like that. But then I understand it from a diehard fan perspective. It's like your team gets screwed. You want them to have a recourse to have it looked at. And I understand that. And again, I like that there's a screen. Now, I don't think it can't replace. Like, God, I would hate for it to replace umpires, because you still need to have judgment on calls. There has to be there, but ones that are like egregious need to be called back, right? But like, oh God, I understand, because it's the same talk of everything else in this world. How is AI affecting it? And AI is part of this. AI is going to be part of this judgment calls. There's no compute. The computers we are currently using now, there is some form of AI in our computer that's just helping us run our computer. So like
it's everywhere. Your televisions have it built in. That's why you get targeted ads. That's
this just right here is listening to you. AI is listening to you at all times on your phone.
All times.
But like that, and that's the thing, as I understand people's reluctance to these improvements due to those factors. But again, we do need some bits of these things, but we can't go too far with them. And going any farther than helping to replay judgment calls, things like that, it would be too much. But this is, I think, right now, this is a good balance. Right now.
Okay. No, I think that's a very fair assessment of it. I agree with you. I think right now we can say it makes sense and it's logical, but when you push it any further than that, it dips into that territory of we're going too far with it. So we'll see how it pans out. Again, the season is not too far away. We can start probably crossing the days down now and talk a little bit more heavily about MLB as it begins to open up again here. So yeah, great conversation. Now you've got some, I'm sure you got some updates here for us before we talk about the Winter Olympics.
Quick F1. It only take a couple minutes here. We're still in practice. We're still seeing practice. We're still seeing testing from a lot of teams. Season starts in about a month. I think I can't remember what the start of the F1. Sorry, F1 2020. I can't remember what the start is. 8th. I want to say March 7th. So we're getting it. So for us North American fans, it's going to be a nighttime. It's going to be an evening race because it's going to be in Australia. It's going to be midday in Australia. So it's 9 p.m. my time, 11 Eastern will be the start on March 7th. Technically March 8th in Australia when we're getting the first race for Formula One F1. So we're 3 weeks away from that. I'm super excited because again, I'm ready for some more. We got a couple new racers coming in this year. We have a new team coming in this year. Can't wait. But yeah, we've seen a lot of testing, and again, we're still 3 weeks out. These manufacturers are still all these teams are still working on their cars, but we're still seeing things like Ferrari, while looking good in those early tests, are having issues with shifting issues down to first get their turbos running, and you're seeing a bit of sliding with them more than other teams. But again, it's getting used to these are ground up built new cars. It's not just improvement on the old cars. These are like complete rebuild cars this year, and we're seeing very big differences in these teams. So Ferrari, for the struggles, I think are still going to be again like the analysts are saying still a top contending team this year. We're seeing some struggles with them in their testing. Audi, they were having early braking issues in their testing, but they've kind of come back. Still doing some work here. Red Bull, they're always some of the best cars on. Verstappen having some issues with sliding in certain turns and stuff in Bahrain this week, but it's still one of the best looking cars, and Hadjar is handling his car so well. It seems so well comparatively to last year with Lawson and Tsunoda not being able to handle that car. Because again, when they build these cars, they usually tend to favor one driver over the other in how the builds are. And Max Verstappen is your champion. You kind of build your car to him, right? Hadjar seems to be being able to handle the build that this car has been stylized towards Max Verstappen. And I think that's a very good thing for Red Bull. It could be a very scary thing for every other team this year if Hadjar can handle this car well and be a top 10 racer this year consistently. That could be incredible. And yet, a lot of other teams, Mercedes looking stronger. They're both their drivers there. Cadillac actually looking not too bad in their first comeback. Yes, issues like everybody else in there, but for having two experienced racers in Bottas and Perez driving those cars, very good. McLaren, there seems to be an imbalance in their team in testing with Lando Norris, your champion, looking absolutely phenomenal, but Piastri kind of struggling with his car. We'll see how this can be. So it's about 3 weeks more of testing and practicing and stuff. So again, none of this is here. Haas they're just kind of there as they always are. Same with Williams. Aston Martin looking better than they should, but still not a top tier team. But Lance Stroll actually slightly outperforming Fernando Alonso in some of these testing, which is surprising. With Alonso being as good as he is, but yeah. And then Racing Bulls, the other Red Bull team, not looking as strong as the main team, but still looking good. And then Williams, they're looking the best of the rest from all reports, the best of the rest. So we'll see. Again, I'm looking forward to the season. About 3 weeks away, I think now.
3 weeks, nice.
3 weeks till, 1, 2. Yeah, just
start of March then.
Yeah, March 7th/8th, depending on where you are in the world. It's gonna be on March 8th in Australia, midday race there. So it'll be 9 p.m. race for time, 11 p.m. race on March 7th for Eastern Standard Time. So wherever you are, watch it because I love me some racing. It's and if you want to just learn a little bit of it, go watch Drive to Survive on Netflix. That actually comes out on February 27th, the newest season that just talk about all of last season, February 27th. And it's it teaches you stuff, gives you a little bit of drama, lets you get to know drivers, and it's absolutely tremendous to learn, help you learn about racing. And it did really help me learn and turn me into a fan. So if you want to learn about racing, check out Drive to Survive. It's a good way to learn and kind of learn about the technical and points and how all that stuff works. I highly recommend it if you want to get into racing.
Fantastic. All right, now moving on to our main and last topic of the day, Andre. It is the Winter Olympics. We briefly touched on them opening up just 1 week ago. And over the course of this week, Canada, we were always known as kind of a winter country. Like you would think that we'd come out swinging, picking up golds all over the place, but we had a little bit of a gold medal drought until just I don't even think it's been 24 hours yet, but we have had our very first gold for the Winter Olympics here this season. Mikhail Kingsbury snags Canada's first Olympic gold in freestyle skiing. Canada, I believe we are now up to 9 total for 1 gold, 3 silver, and 5 bronze, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, dude, 3 silver, 5 bronze. That is a hell of a goddamn achievement. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, we talk about, we want more gold medals, but like to work as hard as these people do and to bring us 5 bronze and 3 silver is huge. You got to think, and again, we're going now in the world of amateur sports, because this is technically amateur sports. Yes, we're watching them, but these are mostly sports are considered like technically amateur, but we like in hockey is professional. But like just these sports where these people aren't being paid millions of dollars outside of hockey to be doing this is like, and how hard these people work and the struggles they do to get to where they are. It's crazy, man. Like, and just to put up those medals for us, I am insanely proud of every person. And those that didn't, I'm excited for getting there, because you know how hard it is just to make one of those teams. Like that's incredible. Like but it's cool to see us doing as well as we are. Like I got to see the replays of Elliot Grondin winning the silver in snowboarding. Absolutely incredible. Watching in snowboard cross, that was really cool to watch. I loved watching that snowboard cross. That was great.
Yeah, and I think we're currently playing France, right, in men's hockey. Right now, I believe we're up on France in the game, if I'm not mistaken. Check that stat. I believe I just saw something mentioned about Canada leading France in men's hockey at the moment.
Yeah, I was on today. I don't know if I haven't been watching this morning, so
yeah. So I'm pulling this article that just came out about 6 minutes ago. Winter Olympics live. Canada has a 5-goal lead after 2 periods over France. So, yeah, Canada is doing really good over there. All these accomplishments are great. I 100% agree with you, Andre. It's no easy feat to be able to go to these Winter Olympics.
8-2 right now.
8-2. Oh, we're really showing up for that. We're cooking on that one. But yeah, I mean, it's wild. It begs the question. It's easy to say because, Canada, we get snow. We're so used to, we're hockey players, we're skaters, we're, snowboarders, we're skiers, but are other countries now investing in the facilities to be able to train for these events more than ever before? And now the other countries are really starting to pick up and put out a fight, because it seems like it's very matched across the board. Like you never know who's going to quite come out on top in a lot of these games at the moment.
Well, yeah, I just pulled up the medal count right now overall. Norway on top with 24 medals, 11 gold, 6 silver, 7 bronze. Then you got Italy right behind them with 22 medals, 8 gold, 4 silver, 10 bronze. Like just United States is 17, 5, 8, and 4. Like just like it's crazy, man. Like,
yeah, it's quite a few people picking up a lot of achievements all across the board. Like it's awesome. But go Canada in the hockey. Like, we know the expectation on the hockey team. So.
Yeah, and again, right now we beat the Czechs 5-0. Again, and then we beat the Swiss 5-1. So we're sitting with France. I think this is our final game of the prelims. Yeah, it's our final game of the prelims. We're looking to take our group stage with 3 straight wins, which is huge. So we'll see, and then we got to go into the playoff rounds at that point. We'll see how that all lines up. Again, it won't be lined up for another day or two. It won't be set.
Yeah,
I think we'll end up, with a spot straight into the quarterfinals with that. Yeah, like because we'll win the division, we'll end up with a spot straight into the quarterfinals. We won't have to play the qualification playoffs, so we'll have a couple off to rest while other teams play those early qualification playoffs. Yeah, and again, it's all just ranking who's in what position and things like that, right? So,
is rest always best though? Like sometimes I wonder if I know that rest doesn't mean rest. I mean, there's going to be still training, preparation, whether that be mentally or physically. But is rest always the best? Because sometimes getting in the swing of that game playing mentality and everything, sometimes that seems to have a little bit of a great effect on some teams as well too, to continue that momentum that they've already started.
Well, you see it in the playoffs too. Like you see in the playoffs, sometimes there's a lot of teams, a team that sweeps a team out in 4 and then waits for 4 or 5 days or to play another team who's just gone to full 7, come back and they there's a lot of times a team that's been played full 7 wins that next round. And again, I see it here because these teams are still practicing, you're right, and things like that. Again, it's once we step out of our division, because again, just say this: Canada's playing Switzerland, Czechs, and France. So there's definitely one team in the Czechs that are a very strong team there.
Mm-hmm.
The Swiss are a good team. France is where I was like, I think we're winning that handedly. You know what I mean?
And we are.
We are. And then look at Group B. You have Slovakia, who are on top, are on top right now, looking absolutely tremendous. You have Finland in that division and Sweden. One of those teams is it's going to be interesting to see how they move through. And then that's in Group D. Group C, you have the U.S., who again I think might have the easiest division of all of them. They're playing against Latvia, Germany, and Denmark. I'm sorry, none of those teams are mainly powerhouse hockey teams. And then it's just looking at the 3 groups, and then we had a lineup as of right now. Canada, the U.S., Slovakia, and Finland are the ones sitting with bye. I think buys for the second buys in that first round. Then you're gonna have the other Switzerland, Latvia, Sweden, Czechs, Germany, Denmark, France, and Italy all playing in those qualification playoffs. Again, I don't think anybody's eliminated. Nobody gets eliminated after this, but it's to seed you into the playoffs and where you sit for qualifications. It's going to be interesting to see who sits where in these playoffs. I'm excited for it. I really am. Again, because these qualification rounds are fun, but it's the playoff knockout rounds that are really the best part of men's hockey.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we got all sorts of great events coming up here again today too. More skating, more curling, more skiing as well too. Like a lot of great events coming up. Make sure to tune in and support the Winter Olympics and support your country, whether that be Canada, like Andre and I, US, like many of our friends here on OLE, or any of the other countries watching around the world. You always got to have that country pride, in my opinion, when it comes to the Olympics. Always got to root for the home team, and that's the beauty of all this. It's going to be a great Olympics. It's already a great start, and we've been having fun with it.
I was going to talk a little bit of women's hockey though, because we're already through to the semifinals in women's hockey. They were one of the first things to start in the Olympics this year. I think the Canadian women were supposed to start early, but then got delayed due to Finland being sick. Their whole team being norovirus, so they actually got delayed. That game got delayed to be played again. They did play it, but we've already been through the quarterfinals. So you had the U.S. beating Italy, you had Canada beating Germany, you had Sweden beating the Czechs, and you had Finland beating Switzerland.
Nice.
So going into the semifinals, it is United States versus Sweden and Canada versus Switzerland. Canada came in second overall in the early round robin call, behind the U.S. It went U.S. number 1, Canada number 2, Czech number 3, Finland number 4, Switzerland number 5, Sweden number 6, Germany number 7, and Italy number 8. It's
going to be a tough game against the Swiss.
Yeah, and the 2 teams that did get eliminated were both from Group B. That was Japan and France. Both got eliminated. after the qualification rounds. So the top 8 went through. But yeah, it's going to be, you have U.S. versus Sweden. Again, 2 well-known hockey countries. Going to be absolutely incredible. And then Czech versus Swiss, which again, another like Canada known for hockey, and Swiss have always shown up in a lot of hockey in like this level of hockey. The Swiss show up.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be an interesting Final Four, put it that way.
And both games are tomorrow / tonight, like depending on where you are. Because depending on where you are in the world, because again, they're both scheduled for February 16th. And then your gold medal and bronze medal games are both going to be on February 19th. So all teams will have a couple days off in between to rest up and get ready for those medal games. So
fantastic. Well, go ladies. Hopefully they make it through to the final and bring another medal home. We believe in you.
Bring it home. Bring it all home, ladies. Let's go. Come on.
Yes. But I believe that's I'd say that's been a pretty damn good show and a pretty good talk of all things sports for this week. And I know we're going to have a whole lot more to cover next week when we come back with the medal count and everything Winter Olympics and all the new news. But in the meantime and in between time, Andre, why don't you let the people know what you got coming up and where they can find you?
You can find me right here on OLE every Sunday doing Point of View. So I'm finally going back to watching some wrestling this coming week. Wrestling's finally back in Edmonton. So we're going to have a couple episodes, not this coming week, but the week after the next episode of Point of View. We'll be having probably the day we do next Point of View, and a couple days after that, we're going to have 2 episodes of the Paw Spot over on Backbreaker Video. 2, as we'll be covering Top Talent Pro Wrestling featuring Mike Santana and the world's smallest luchador, Microman. They will both be in town. We got Microman. Do you know who he's facing?
Oh, I know Microman.
Do you know who he's facing, though?
No, I don't.
Sheik Shabazz in a no DQ match.
Of course.
No DQ, which makes it even better. Well, last time Microman was here, he was in a 6-way ladder match, and Harlan punted him across the ring.
I'm picturing Sheiky doing the same damn thing now.
I just see him picking him up like a football and drop kicking him across the venue.
Yeah. Man. Microman takes a beating when it doesn't matter who he goes against.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then the following day, CWE is making their way through the Edmonton area for their CWE 17th anniversary tour, featuring former All Japan Pro Wrestling Triple Crown champion Davey Boy Smith Jr. is in town and to be rocking through.
Nice.
The CWE crew, and I'm looking forward to that one. So we'll be covering both of those shows over on Backbreaker Video.
Fantastic. That's where you can catch Andre. I will click my ticker up on the screen there for y'all. What I got coming up is this Thursday night. Of course, myself, Papa Smokes, rolling in with Ring Respect Radio. We're going to be talking all things Prairie Pro Wrestling Cold Hearted as we prepare to go into next weekend and the first PPW show of 2026. Limited tickets still available for general admission standing. Seats are all completely 100% sold out. Do not be left out in the cold. Get your tickets for PPW's Cold Hearted today. Reach out to us on social media. Of course, then you're going to be able to catch me back here 11 a.m. Eastern time next Sunday for more Point of View. And I believe if we can get to recording it, there might be a new episode of Killer Cuts on the horizon very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. Don't know the exact release date, but it's going to be, what's that?
For what? For a movie?
Oh, well, of course we got to prep for Scream 7. We got to do a bit of a preview for Scream 7 in preparation.
Yeah.
And then there's other movies that have been watched that we still need to get to doing reviews of as well too. So that's coming up. Again, everything can be found right here on OLE Podcast. So if you're watching on OLE Podcast, check us out on all social media. If you're watching on YouTube on replay, make sure to give us a comment in the comment section below. What was your favorite sport from this week? What do you want to see more of from us in the upcoming episodes of Point of View? Let us know in that comment section. And if you got any value out of the show, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. Give us a thumbs up. Turn on the notification bell. We're always reaching out to you, and thank you for all the support that you're all showing us as we continue to rise in subs, continue to rise in watch time, and all of those things. Thank you, everybody, for all you do for us. We appreciate you, and we will see you next Sunday here on Point of View. Take care, everybody.